going to be here. Because if I'm Extinction, and out of the gate Lucio ban is a bit spooky. I can't lie. I mean, if you look at the hard, cold facts, it's a little rougher on the edges, especially being that 1 in 8. But as we head to this match, again, on paper, Extinction looking good right now, and unfortunately for the other side of things, not so much. I think I fixed the streams. I think. Emphasis on the I think part. I guess we'll find out. But we're headed into the map of Antarctic Peninsula either way. I don't even think I introduced myself. Hey, howdy, hello. It is a pleasure to be here in front of you all. And we're getting right into the action, as always. Right here, right now, running it down. Ladies and gamers and gentlemen and gamers. Both squads pulling out different looks. We have Red X, who's going to be on this cat once again. No adjustments in that patch notes for the cat, but nevertheless, it will be the cat bashing from Snowell and from Red X Dust starting us out here on this Mauga. But it's going to be Kindred playing that Sigma. I think a character that they are quite well known for. H-Key on the Mei. And, I mean, everything from both of these squads looking pretty up to snuff, right? Looking pretty good. So, it's going to be the first cap from the likes of Extinction. But then immediately swapping over, it's going to be now in the hands of Kindred and Co. This Team DDD squad looking to try and lock down the back line, lock down the front line, as Snowell gets locked down out of the sky by H-Key. Looking for more. Dust putting that pressure onto Moggy Fan quite heavily at that, and eventually to fall. But Moggy Fan won't be able to find any picks. Dusk and Faruski with the cleanup. And it's going to be Extinction to eke out not only this what seems to have been an ultra mega long first fight, but also they're finally a bit was that a double stomp from Dust? Well, it doesn't really matter. Kindred finds the rock on the Dust. The casting's all over the place. I'm not warmed up, but the teams are. Classic. Now this ult advantage, that not only you're up 1, but you also have both of these support ults online that will do maybe potentially a bit more consistently find value than a cat ult, but it'll be Karma to find the opening pick onto Moggy Fan. Dust in there, able to put some pressure on the already flipped point from Team DDD. It'll be the ult from Bernice to come out. Dust, though, to lock them down. Kindred stuck in place. Dust gets ulted. The Suzu perfectly timed, but the ult from Red X to stun out H-Key. It'll now be Snowell to look for the re-engage into this. Bernice jumps in, tries to find some value, but Karmez is there, able to clean up house as well. And it will be Extinction to retake this point with not investing as heavily as I expected. It will be that Dust Cage. Rex's ult Snowell going down, but Kindred with the opening pick. I couldn't even finish talking about the ult economy when these teams are playing this fast. Karmez getting walled off by H-Key. H-Key finds the pick, now kiting out the Mauga of Dust. Dust surely just wants to play life if they can. Snowell and Red X on the coastline. I mean, do what they can, but there's only so much. Moggy Fan does go down. But unfortunately, for Extinction, it will be Team DDD to retake this point. Now, it has been 7 days, a whole week since we've seen this Extinction squad play. So it could be, shaking off a bit of the nerves, getting back into it. Either way, it's the perfect Suzu to land onto Snowl to assist in enabling the rest of that squad to walk in. Moggyfan goes down to Karmez's ult. Snowl still has this ultimate online, but hopes to not have to use it here, and realistically shouldn't have to. The numbers dwindling, both in heroes alive, but also that HP pool. So now it's a big fat 0 on the point for Team DDD. Extinction to retake that throne of a first point. And coming into this last fight, it'll be Karmez to make a swap over to the Pharah. Whether it was because they wanted to get back faster or they thought it was going to be more befitting of this final fight, I think we'll just have to find out. Red X, Dust, Snowl, all to have the ultimate online. The rock midair from Kindred to land onto Snowl, but Moggyfan puts on the pressure and forces them out. Dust gets a little split, looks to find themselves cut down. It'll be H-Key dragged into the backline, but careful team, H-Key's got an ultimate. H-Key sends it a flying, not quite able to find the freeze on anybody, but just barely actually does find Faruski. Snowl 1 HP, but H-Key just burning down, or rather icing down Dust. Red X to find another rock from Kindred, as it's just gonna be Snowl, Karmez, and soon-to-be Faruski back on the point. Snowl drags a lot of attention their way as Karmez goes for the retouch, but no one from Extinction is able to find the retouch.
Confirmed.
And without too much intervention during that last fight, it was honestly just a clean execution from the likes of Team DDD. They were able to find their opening and to press that advantage.
They might try something.
And I mean, to be specific, the opening was almost a force open. It was Red X dragging H-Key into the backline. Bernice replies to that cat ultimate with an ultimate of their own. And it just shuts down the value Red X got from the cat nap. H-Key goes for the ultimate. And the ultimate in and of itself, I think, froze Faruski only momentarily, and they lived. But immediately after that, that was when chaos befell Extinction, because Dust got split from the team, Karmez got split, everyone went every which way, and Team DDD took full advantage of it. But can they do it again? Point presence fully in control right now by Extinction, and we see the likes of DDD almost fanning out in a way. They fan out, look to take position, take some angles, and it works so far so good against Dust. Dust falling quite low, as is Red X. Oof, Red X so low, a little bit too close. Karmez, though, to go down to Moggyfan, will definitely struggle against the space that can be created almost with ease by the likes of Kindred and H-Key against Dust. And then Moggyfan will just be able to clean up against that Pharah that doesn't quite have the pocket that Snowl has. Dust absolutely won, and another phenomenal rock from Kindred to come flying through the stratosphere. Kindred looking good. Snowl finds a pick, but Kindred again with another pick of their own. And look at these ults from both squads already coming online. Now, a lineup as strong as both of these teams has you wondering how maybe score lines like these can be found. The 4 and 2, the 1 and 8, it's just a really rough time. But it's Moggyfan to go for an ult, not quite finding much, but now the re-engage comes down. Red X gets denied of an ultimate. Snowl goes for an ultimate of their own, I believe getting rocked out of it. And Kindred just W-keying onto them, just playing a little too aggressive. I mean, Kindred and Bernice cleaning house here. This is insane. AJMR there to take down their counterpart in Faruski, and Extinction, they're going to need a reply. And that reply needs to come yesterday. It's one of those replies that needs to occur before this round even begun. This Sig Brawl composition is looking so stable from Team DDD, especially on a map like this. where they're able to kind of pin themselves down and only give up space when they choose to because of being able to take full advantage of the Mei wall. Dust goes in, uses the cage, but it's Dust now to get Mei ulted and walled off. Karmaz goes for an ultimate of their own, does some good chunk to the rest of the squad, killing Bernice, forcing the Suzu, but it is looking good for Extinction. Karmaz falls low, but Faruski's there with the backup, finding H-Key. Red X to find AJMR, and I mean, I do think it is quite a good swap we've seen from Snowell and Red X. They switch off of that Cat fashion, and instead they look a bit more Suzu used just in the nick of time before Kindred's rock could land, but they switched to a bit more of a brawl-based Soj and Mizuki. Dust playing very aggressive, going into the backline, looks for the slam, not quite finding it, but putting the pressure on nevertheless. Nonetheless, Faruski will go down to Mogifan's ultimate, and that's going to enable a huge engage here from the likes of Extinction, or from the likes of the team Triple Ds. As H-Key looks for the backline, can't quite find it, and Dust to fall first. When Faruski gets back, they're going to have the ultimate, but it's a matter now of if they can get back in time. Kindred's back on the Malga, looking for an opportunity. Snowell not quite able to find anything with the ultimate of their own, but now Faruski's ultimate gets popped. Bernice responds in kind as H-Key goes down. It's going to be Karmaz desperately looking for an angle, looking for a pick. And oh my god, Kindred looking so deep for it, finally finds it, I think burning them to death. Dust will be able to assist in recapturing that point, and Kindred has seemingly gone missing. Kindred lives. Apologies to the awning, but it is a close one we got going so far. Now, both of these teams running very similar compositions. The primary difference, of course, being the Soj and the Pharah against the Cass and the Tracer. HK goes for the Pulse, not quite able to find a pick for it, but now the entrance is being looked at and Dust is being absolutely obliterated. Mogifan not able to help finish the picks, but Red X will. Finding both Mogifan and the final blow onto Kindred. This is last fight territory now. Red X looking for even more here onto Bernice as Dust goes ultra deep, has that ultimate online, as does Karmaz. Karmaz forces the Suzu. Bernice goes down late, and oh, what a nasty shot. H-Key looking to touch, just can't quite make it, and it will be cleanup on Isle Cruiser as the Icebreaker performs at ease. But I do believe we're going to have to see a bit of adaptation here from Extinction. As I yawn again because my anxiety dubs it so, Pharah will just inevitably struggle on a map type of Anomaly. I mean, we already saw Pharah struggle that past map, but Karmaz might have to play some of that ground Pharah here on Anomaly if it's committed to, because you get too high in the sky and you might just freeze. I don't really know where I was going with that. You're a bit hindered in terms of the space you can take. I don't know who's spinning their fidget spinner that's we're hearing, but it's just a sound to behold. Good God, it's over. Okay, Kindred goes back over to the Sake, and it'll be Karmaz to stick to the Pharah. So, and the name of the game for Extinction is going to be angles, which Snowell has to be careful of, dropping down to 10 HP, almost those single digits. Dust can't quite go too aggressive on that high ground, as point is that primary focus for the rest of Extinction. The wall to come through, though, shutting H-Key away from the rest of the squad. Suzu used by both teams, and now it's going to be Kindred to take down Dust, and that's one of those can't die first type of situations, because that's all of your taking power gone. But we will see Snowell getting staggered out. Karmaz, Dust making some swaps here. I do wonder if Snowell will do the same or stick to the Soj perhaps. it does look like sticking to that Soj. We know both Dust and Santana have that Wicked Sig on them, but the difference being right now is that Kindred's got the perks and Dust does not, as we saw kind of from that fight. Exactly. You know, same with Karmas, is that those perks are all online for Team DDD, which sometimes doesn't necessarily matter, but with things like the major perk for HK to be able to full freeze characters, heroes, even DPS after some of those changes going into this season, but also things like Dust being able to levitate over a wall. I mean, these are huge adjustments. Dust getting rocked, being able to live for now, but here comes the ultimate. Red X already dead. HK finds one, a nice nerf silver bullet shot on the Snowl. And that's going to be DDD not only finding the first team kill of the series, but minimal ults used. And this is looking like a last fight territory situation here. Snowl, Faruski both have the ult. Red X to soon have their own, but it's going to be Moggy, Kindred, and Bernice to all have their own. Dust gets airlifted directly back to the spawn room. Snowl goes for a second peek, almost finds Moggy Fan, who cancels their ultimate. Looking for more, just quite can't find it. This will be the last fight, whether this squad wants it to be or not. Red X falls. Karmas immediately has to go use the form, but will fall. Dust back on the ball. But this map just wasn't the map for this Extinction squad. Red X goes for the ult and spawn, but goes for it nonetheless. But it will be Extinction to lose out. Map number 1 going the way of Team DDD. Looking very good is DDD on that Sig comp. I mean, just genuinely looking electric. They're that excited we got a map. No, wait. I just remembered what I said. I said on stream. I said on stream to Karmas and NVM that I would like, what did I say? I'd eat a shoe, or I would like take a shot from a sock or something like that.
Simple arithmetic.
Huh. Is that what they've been planning this whole time? Is that it? Huh? Is that it? Either way. It is going to now. Once again, some would argue. I don't know why you would argue that when that's not. It's going to be Extinction's map pick. Extinction's map pick and Extinction's ban as we head to map number 2 in this first to 3 series. I told you it was going to be electric. However, not quite how I expected first map to go. If I'm being honest, bias caster, I know it's almost like there's Extinction logos everywhere. But there is quite the backline sitting here for DDD. They have, which I believe is, not I believe is, but we saw Bernice, that's Wicca, on the back, on the subs, we have Small, Ginger, and Risk. And for Extinction, of course, we saw Dust kicking things off there alongside Karmas, Snowl, Red X, and Faruski. But this time around, we get to see NVM and Santana coming in with Paulette still waiting to be for their moment. As we head to map number 2, it will be Extinction picking out Hollywood, which I can't say we've gotten to see too much of here, team. It will be the first ban of the Mizuki from Extinction, the follow-up ban to be the Diva. I think it is a very solid ban from both squads. I think the ban of the Diva can either enable a Malga comp that we haven't seen yet. Well, I guess we saw Kindred take it out for a fight or two. But I think it's more likely that the Mizuki ban to cover off to enable the cat to be played. And also just to shut down the Miz to be played. Maybe that Miz isn't as comfortable as they so wish it to be. But the Diva ban, solid. Santana, very, very flexible player. And also just kind of more so forcing that Sig to be played as well. So we look into map number 2 here now. It's going to be DDD starting out on the DD defense. Was that good? Was that a good one? And now it begins. Santana on the Sig. It'll be Bernice to start off on the Wu Yang. A bit different looks than Extinction, who does also slightly different look. Red X catching a rock. Kindred is just on fire with these rocks today. It'll be NVM coming in to play this Pharah. And Moggy fan taking out Red X. Gonna make things a bit difficult here. Such as that, as Snowl takes down Kindred, which is going to be a huge hit to the likes of Team DDD. And there's no Symmetra or Lucio or any type of Juno to assist Kindred in coming back. It's just that raw, natural, floating talent of theirs to re-engage them into this fight. Santana waltzes their way into the fight like a wonderful dance. HK going for the block off, gets taken out by NVM, who takes, I was going to say to the skies, but more so just to an off angle. Moggy goes for the flank, getting shut down immediately. Snowl not quite able to get the assistance they so desperately needed. Ooh, and Bernice almost finding NVM. But Red X to find AJMR will be a great pick to keep this fight going for Extinction and to find that first point cap. HK might be able to stall things out if they really wanted to here. Never mind. Able to escape with their life, perhaps, as it won't really be too much pushing of the aggression here from the side of DDD. They'll just wait, play slow. Bernice will die, and NVM will look to get even a bit closer. Okay, never mind. NVM will get closer to the spawn doors as Santana looks to get closer to not only an ultimate of their own as they get it, but they're gonna need some health badly here. Don't quite have the Suzu online. And the ult usage from Kindred does allow this first choke to be played. But we see Extinction still kind of putting their foot in the door of this choke. Still trying to maintain some of the space. Snowl being forced to slide out. That forces Faruski to go for a TP as well. Both support ults online for Team DDD will enable at least some type of aggression here, as NVM continues to play a bit slow, a bit cautious of Moggy fan, and perhaps just not necessarily. What? NVM barely getting picked off. Santana goes for the ultimate, finds Moggy fan, but it will be HK's ultimate to get used. Nothing found. Same with Bernice's ultimate. The re-engage now with Faruski's ultimate will allow Snowl to find the pick onto HK. The rest of Extinction to help in finding the follow-up. The Suzu gets used by AJMR, but unfortunately for them, that Suzu can only last so long. And now Snowl gets aggressive with NVM. Bernice switches over to the Brig. Santana desperately low, actually, being forced to hard kite back. This Tracer coming out now from HE as well, almost already half to that pulse bomb. Kindred's going to have, for sure, that ultimate of their own. NVM still looking for an opportunity, goes for it, finds AJMR. The rock from Kindred comes out, lands, but it won't be in time to save their own life, but Santana quickly traded out. Moggy fan jumping off of the high ground, 1 HP, taken down before they can find that Mega. And now it's going to be much to well, you know what? I speak too much, I think. I'm going to say HQ's opportunity here, but instead it'll be Kindred. Okay, you know what? Kindred, unfortunately, having the entirety of Extinction do a nice little dance move of sort to slide their way. Sage right. Oh, the prediction from Faruski for that crit was nasty. As now the follow-up looks to be found. Faruski does get found by AJMR, but it will be second point captured, and looking to be a bit of alleviation here from the likes of Santana and co. Santana just wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Trust me, you're gonna want to see this. Now getting that major perk online. Moggy goes for the ultimate, looks for an angle, finds a couple of hits, but no big ones. It'll be Santana to make it. I mean, both tanks over 0 at the moment. Actually, take it back. Kindred did land one earlier as it's Santana. I lied. Moggy fan finds the tracer of NVM, as now the aggression will be shown from this squad of DDD. That Kiri coming out to full utility, and we see the Brig in use from Bernice. That Brig all actually getting used that last fight. The Pulse being insta-used, but not able to find any picks. AJMR falls low. 2 packs get used by Bernice, but Faruski to find H-Key. And that instant Inspire will have to do some heavy lifting this fight, because it's gonna, it's a, I'll tell you what, rough call here. As Santana is the only one to get airlifted upwards. And Moggy fan 67 looking to put that damage in, getting pressured out. NVM finds the pick, and now NVM to look for even more. Snowl finds H-Key, but AJMR comes alive, finding 2. Santana to find the cleanup, though. Kindred looking mighty low and down and out, as it'll be that full cap. A minute 35 on the board here for the likes of Extinction, as it is now their turn to head over, or Team DDD's turn, excuse me, turn for a bit of an attack. I stumble, I stutter, and I most certainly fall, but you know who doesn't? Well, I thought Faruski was deathless. So basically, Faruski and Snowl, who both only have 1 death. That's it. It's going to be this squad of Extinction looking to play the Pharaoh on the defense. The Pharaoh on the defense, intriguing to me with how much value Moggy fan finding in the neutral. And I'll be keen on seeing if this Brig is stuck to from Bernice, I believe Wicca, as well. Moggy fan gonna be looking for a bit of a shot out the gate here. Going for it indeed. Actually looking to stay on this Widow, believe it or not, gamers. This is ever intriguing. NVM looking for an angle, maybe not, maybe being cautious, maybe not, of that potential Widow. The Widow of Moggy finds the jump shot onto Red X. Snowl almost losing their head as NVM gets pressured out here by Kindred. Kindred continuing that waltz, putting the pressure on, preventing some of that healing going down as well. Snowl, though, to find that shot onto Bernice to keep things moving steadily for this squad. Also, Santana throwing an Otani-style rock their way. Moggy fan getting shut down by NVM, but NVM 14 HP and getting out alive, as Santana is able to assist in cleaning up those who were chasing them. And once again, going to be an intriguing response, I would say. Being looked at As Moggy fan again finds the pick. I mean, this is nuts, team. This is nuts. The engage, solid. Moggy fan finds Snowell too, looks for more, finds NVM, who goes for the ult on the back line. Now looking for more on the height, just barely missing out. Jumps to the high ground, as a matter of fact. Santana goes for the ultimate. It does land on two, but the Suzu was spot on by AJMR. HT finds Red X, but the Rock shuts down Kindred, and this fight still wide open. HT has the ultimate, might be looking for an opportunity to find that pick on... Woo! NVM falls to 1, being chased down now by the devious May of HT. NVM goes down, tries a little too much to press that angle. Red X back in a flash, though, as Faruski goes for the ultimate, but it's Faruski to go down first. Bernice pops that ultimate as Moggy fan just awaiting the peaks from the rest of the squad as the full cap will be found. And Kindred HK didn't have to even touch their Q buttons. As a matter of fact, things going quite nice and easy for them. It will be some ults coming online from Snowell and VM again, getting befallen to the May of HK. HK absolutely hitting these buttons. The buttons, I mean, their keyboard is crazy. TP and Suzu used to perfection by the likes of Faruski, as now it's Snowell's time to get aggressive. Dropping onto HK, forces that cryo freeze, but oh my god, HK's just got that dog in him. As now it's gonna be Santana finding the trade. NVM on the flank finds not only that pick in the ultimate, or sorry, in the Widowmaker, but also nears an ultimate already. The TP out as the ults from Red X get used as well, as Moggy fan now over to the Cassid. Gonna be an interesting play from the Cass here, with NVM now being on the Tracer. Gonna be looking for a pulse bomb. It'll be a matter of, Jesus, HK is actually on that today, as is Kindred with those rocks. It's incredible. Faruski falling quite low before this fight's really even had a chance to get going. Santana does have that ultimate, and that could be used to force out a Suzu early, and that is going to catch both of the supports midair. NVM finds themselves with their pulse bomb, but finds Kindred as well. So, got their one, I guess. And Bernice walking onto Santana here, but will get forced out before the likes of Moggy can find a pick of their own. Actually, does find Snowell. And Kindred, that's my line. Faruski will have the Faruski will have the ultimate online here, but AJMR will have it to match. Most likely, I would foresee high ground to try and be taken here by the squad of Team DDD. An early ultimate onto this height, followed by a kite from Extinction, and then a re-engage with an ultimate of their own, unless they want to try and keep that ultimate. But it's Santana who's booped off the high ground, levitates back onto a slight high ground of their own, and instead it's Faruski to pop that ult first, and significantly later it's going to be AJMR to find that ult. But NVM is the one who finds the picks. NVM, who almost has another pulse online, by the way, goes for the ultimate. It's Kindred to lift Santana into the stratosphere. Looks for the slam down, but it's instead going to be Santana just living their best life with the assistance of their supports and that grasp. And NVM with that pulse bomb once more will be going extra aggressive alongside the rest of Extinction. To the spawn! I don't know why I did that. That was the most... Yeah, nah, you can tell. You can just tell. Right. As Kindred gonna get airlifted of their own this time around. Slammed down and killed. Snowell with the snare will find that final blow. HK has the ultimate online. Hold that! As the beat comes down from Red X, Snowell does find that pick on the HK. And with 10 seconds remaining The only one who's even no one will touch. That will be the second point prevented from being capped. Another team kill this time around. Extinction taking map number 2. And we're tied up 1-1, folks. Extinction, I think, playing a bit more to their own standards for that map. Finding that full cap with still plenty of time.
This ends now.
And I mean, H-Key and Moggy not going negative. That's in other news. It will be Team DDD's opportunity here to take us to game mode map type and first ban of their choice. Now, I'm a bit afraid of Escort if I'm Team DDD. However, Kindred has been electric. H-Key has also been electric on the Mei. You can use that Mei and that Sig to your advantage. You do have to kind of pick one, though. You have to pick one to cover off, or else it does spell trouble. And you have to win your Escort pick. You just have to, right? So maybe because of that, actually, maybe that's why neither team is being the one to do it, because they both believe they're capable completely of pulling it off. So now I'm just fully intrigued, as we are going to be heading to a map we have seen through and through from the likes of Extinction. New Junk City. New Junk City with Team DDD's first ban of Sojourn. That Soj coming in from the side of Snowell, just a little too much, perhaps. Just a wee bit. Or could also take it as a potential cover-up ban. It enables the Mei to still be played. It enables also the Reaper to be played, as Risk will make their way into the lineup for DDD. Out goes Moggy Fan 67. And for the squad of Extinction, the ban going to be the Sigma. And I will say that pretty easily cements, I think, what the goal is for this Extinction squad, which is Mauga, or maybe Dust pulls out the Orisa again. You never know, because speak of the devil, Dust back in the lineup at long last. Gamers, it's been so long since we've seen him. Truly, just an insane amount of time. But, oops, my fault. We get to see, like I was saying, a bit of that different, different comps coming out here. I do wonder if Risk will be sticking to this Symmetra. AJMR starting out on the Moira, at least showing it for now. And again, I'm not trying to be that guy or nothing, but my hypothesis the other day of the Moira Lucio, I meant it more so on like Flashpoint having the possibilities of working, even though it didn't. But maybe we'll see another team play it and we'll see it flourish. However, Snowell going to be taking out that Nerf blaster. You know, I have that exact Nerf blaster in my closet from when I was a kid, and I wish I would have got in the in-game skin, but before it was just a skin, it wasn't a weapon skin, so I didn't buy it. If it was a weapon skin, I would have got it. Anyways, map comps from both sides, but the Kiri Lucio to be played alongside the Mei, and the can't move a damned muscle, or else they risk getting shut down just like that, as Dust cleaves through the rest of the living Team DDD members. And it'll be a nice team kill to kick us off here. H-Key on the Vendetta, Risk on the Reaper. does make Dust's life perhaps a bit harder, but Snell on the cast, a diveable target, sure, but I think on the other hand, it also has that potential to shut down HK, Risk, or potentially even Bernice or AJMR. Dust gets a little stuck in the back line, but instead it's going to be HK who gets trapped and taken out. Surprised to see we haven't seen any felonies coming out, aka Xion kills with a bike from either of these squads quite yet. Maybe that gentleman's agreement not to play the hot robot lady. As NVM on that newly swapped Pharah finds the pick on the Risk, and I will not be surprised if that swap from NVM is twofold, right? Not only is this comp from Team DDD being played where Flyers, speak of the devil, the Xion coming out from Risk. A Flyer can't really get pressured out too easily as Risk makes their attempt, but is dead. Instead, it'll be Dust going for an ultimate on to Kindred on point. AJMR goes for the ultimate as well to try and open up that fight. Instantly shut down, but the Xion of Risk finds Snowl, and AJMR find NVM. It is, though, entirely Extinction's game. No Zeta 9s here. As I will... We'll see kind of the AJMR making the swap off the Moira. It's just not working. The Moira just not able to quite keep pace. And NVM, after this barrage, don't be surprised if we see a swap up from them as well. As the cage comes out from Kindred, the beat from both sides, NVM has the barrage, but it's going to be Kindred hanging, getting let loose just at the nick of time, and re-engaging onto this high ground, looking to apply that pressure with a really ugly Mauga skin. I'm sorry, it just is ugly. The Mythic is not my cup of tea. But I think that's the best version of it, so props to them for that one at least. Risk, while I'm yapping about cosmetics and Overwatch, gets taken down. Snowl finds the trade on the H-Key. Faruski's ultimate being fully utilized here, as NVM's will be used, but I do think just as a way to get a kill, maybe self-reset as well. I did probably to a Tracer would be my guess. No, so actually, we're just sticking to Pharah. Hey, you know what? There's a reason they're in Master Division, and I am in Pistolo. As HK goes for the engage alongside Kindred, it'll now be HK's ultimate dropped for Ruski, sent into the floor. HK direct hitting the likes of HK, or of Redix, excuse me. But it's NVM to find the picks. Xion risk one Snowl to clean up. And what the turnaround? What a beautiful play from Extinction. Snowl, NVM, Dust on that high ground, able to find the pick onto Kindred and then re-engage onto those low ground members. As HK now going over to the Pharah themselves, matching it. NVM versus HK on Pharah in 2026. How wicked. Dust goes for the cage, and it'll be some nice cleanup. Just what the doctor ordered. AJMR, the last to fall. Faruski finds their counterpart. Yet another TK. Not only team kill, but total knockout, if you will. Extinction going the wrong way temporarily. Bernice over to the Cat, and Kindred to the Diva. This is our first, what I would consider a major swap up of the series. Not only is this a now or never kind of swap up, but it's now kind of playing into that double flyer as Risk and NVM both pop ultimates. NVM will be the one on the receiving half of the death and destruction as Risk instantly finds the follow-up, and a clean engage from Team DDD. NVM over to the Tracer. Nothing is surprising there. Honestly surprised it's not the Xion being taken out, but maybe it's that risk of being hard though by a Diva. They want more of those resources being inputted onto NVM to keep them alive. Onto Snowl. As Snowl takes down HK. Speaking of which, it'll be Kindred making a beeline to the back line. Beeline to the back line, say that 5 times fast. Beeline to the back line, 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 beeline to the back line. I just got that dog in me. Who doesn't, though? Or sorry, we'll be positive. Who does is Snowell and Faruski. We'll find those later picks. AJMR and Faruski both committing their ultimates that fight of that Kiriko ultimate. That was probably the most annoying sequence of 15 seconds of casting I've ever done, and I'm so sorry. HQ will have the ultimate online alongside that of Bernice here shortly. And Kindred back onto the Malga. Malga's kind of trading the stomp here. Kindred getting absolutely stomped, though. Turbo stomped, if you will, as Bernice just barely missing out on that pick. NVM, though, going to be able to find Xion and Redex, booping Kindred off the map, at least credited with it. And the total knockout yet again, 85% and counting. As now the aggression gets looked at, the stick lands. HK now the last hope for this Extinction squad. And that will be all she wrote for map number 3, Extinction. Taking us to match point, and that was DDD's map pick. I would like to take, like, you in the back who's like taking notes, like the people in court do. The court, what are they called? The typewriters, the note takers, the court jesters. No, that's me. I mean, you just got to take note here of the fact that Extinction kind of being brought to their own battlegrounds. Honestly, not a single member, unfortunately, for the side of Team DDD going positive there. Dust with only 1 death. I mean, I'm trying to look at the positives here for DDD. They took a map. That's big news. Not so big news is that they are gonna have to do a whole lot more now. They're gonna have to do a whole lot more to be able to kick things back around in their favor. And unfortunately for them, it does seem like Team DDD's strong points in terms of not just, I'd say pools and flexibility, but also that of maps. It seems to be almost identical. So DDD map choice as well as first ban. Once again, not the Chinese team, otherwise known as Weibo Gaming. Gushui hit my line. But instead, kind of as predicted, it will be the likes of DDD going to another map we've seen Extinction on and pop off on, might I add, time and time again, Runasapi. Taking us to push and going for the ban of the Jetpack Cat. So they now decide that Redex is to be no more. Do away with that cat. Sorry, anyways, May is going to be the ban here for for Extinction, as they're going to look to try and shut down some of that hard brawl that's being played and enabled by that May. And can we just say once again how nutty HK and Kindred have been so far? It's granted, unfortunately, it hasn't quite been enough to pick up a second map here, but maybe this will be the map to get the train rolling for them. But if you're like me and perhaps you're a little biased towards EXN, then maybe you'll be happy about said ban. As we will be going to Runasapi, and it is indeed time to lock in. Gays, gamers, and I messed it up. Gays, gals, and gamers of all ages. It is going to be Moggy Fan back in the lineup. Dust staying in alongside NVM, and very different compositions. Once again, I think this is the two preferred styles of these teams really coming out, and I'm very intrigued to how this one's gonna come around. Moggy Fan back on that cast, as it would not surprise me to see Snowell make a swap perhaps over to the cast or even NVM, honestly, as this isn't much of a easy to get value out of Tracer type composition unless your Faruski is just nasty like that. Kindred, a little too split from the squad, will get taken down. As, like, I just should stop talking, honestly. I should double stop talking. HK sticking to the Reaper. I don't foresee any major changes coming through from Team DDD's comp. They are in their comfort pick, other than I think HK to go on to the Mei here. But Extinction able to find that ban. Team DDD prioritizing banning out the cat here. Point progression continues. And it looks like Cap essentially for free here. As now the engagement will be looked to be had. But this brawl, as every cooldown gets used from Kindred here, or except for the Rock. There's the Rock. It'll be Dust who gets cut off. Suzu not able to make their way with because of a wonderful shield placement from that of Kindred. And the cleanup now for the rest of the squad. Redx goes, I thought Redx was going to do some funny shenanigans, but it will instead be first fight win here for Team DDD. Them looking to retake this lead. Now NVM makes the swap off the cast onto the Pharah. And as much of the holy distance close. Holy Suzu from AJMR, a perfect Suzu to save Moggy fan, but now they need to be able to save themselves. But it's NVM playing the positioning perfectly. So petite and peculiar. How precious and perfect even. I didn't know I could do that, but okay. Learn something new every day, I guess. As probably did Moggy fan. Going on a flank with Bernice. Maybe unlock kind of some brainwaves there of the ways to shut down a Pharah, to flank the flanker, who can then flank the flank. NVM 6-7%. Don't laugh. As 4, about 5, if you can count it. Ultimates online here for the likes of Team DDD. It'll be Moggy fan. Well, actually, it'll be HK to take a little peek around the corner, then TPing aggressively. Oh, I ought to take a look, they say. As now, Dust gets tethered, goes out, but Snowell finds the pick, make it 2 on the flank. Moggy fan and AJ Mar going to make it 3 on the HK as Bernice desperately looking to find their pick, waiting for Bernice to come back into the trap, and Snowell doesn't even move the crosshair, just waits for the prey to go directly into the hairs of thou cross. Bernice did pop the ultimate during that fight. A bit of a blunder as terms of placement, unfortunately for them, but it'll be a 4 ult on 4 ult. Okay, well, it'll be a 5 on 4 now as Moggy fan does go down. Some type of reply will be immediately requested, needed, and used, but shut down. As Snowell does get traded out, but a tank for a DPS, not quite what you want to see. It'll be HK to kill NVM. I think probably for the first time when NVM was in the sky. I'm sorry. That's probably not true, and I'm being mean, but let's get back to it. Bernice going over to the brig. Now, we saw this on... I have the memory of a donkey. We were able to see this prior. Do donkeys have good memory? We saw this on for sure. We saw this, and I'm interested to see if it'll get turned around and get a little look at again here. The brig not working to too much accord in terms of the I think the way this composition functions. It'll be fine against the likes of Dust, but whom else is really going to get pressured out by a brig? Oh, HK finds an angle onto NVM though on that Pharah and finds the pick that they desperately needed to keep this thing wide open and ready to go. It will now be the cage coming out from Dust, but he just barely doesn't make it into catching anybody in. It'll actually be Kindred to jump into it as Moggy fan goes for the flank. Snowell gets caught in the trap that has thou been laid. HK going for an ultimate of their own, doing some damage, especially onto Dust. But NVM getting scouted, still finding Bernice, but the crazy flick from NVM. This is pretty crazy. HK's crazy. I knew it to be true, but say it ain't so. The beat to come through to help with the engage, and it's Red X just Red Xing all over the place. You know what? Don't like that line. Don't like it. Put it back. Don't like it. Mogi Fan almost finding Snowell again, but Dust able to find that pick before any more harm could occur. This time around, it's going to be Snowell looking for a bit of an angle. 3 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock. So far, we've seen HK put up a performance, and that is putting it lightly, with some of these plays and flicks onto NVM and co. But at this time around, it has to be Kindred's turn. It has to be AJMR's turn. AJMR will find the pick on the Dust. A Snowell gets tracked down like a damned dog. And now Kindred looking for more, as is gonna be the fight one. Things flipped here for DDD. But NVM, Snowell, soon to be Faruski and Dusk, all to have those ultimates online. Moggy Fan will have that all as well, but we've seen the past couple of ults primarily just been used as a means of perhaps some flanking, a bit of burst. In that case scenario, NVM getting the bit of burst down on the Moggy Fan. Bernice could go for the ultimate at about now, I'd say. Yeah, no, give or take, as AJMR will get absolutely snuffed out. Moggy Fan goes for the ultimate, finds NVM, but it's too late. Team kill. And although NVM does fall, it is 4 ults that just got used by Extinction. And that is it is a wee bit scary in it. It is a wee bit scary from the squad of Extinction. They're going to be trying to find a way to right this economy, maybe force some ults here. HK playing a bit slow down main, definitely wanting to get aggressive here. Snowell gets spotted and instantly jumped on. That had to be personal. Dust takes down Kindred because so much energy and resources were put into that jump onto the likes of Snowell. And although the DPS fall, it will still be Extinction clearing their way. Faruski getting split. Bernice on the Lucio taking down Faruski. Red X down late as well. Cart bot moving back in the direction here of this squad. Now it's gonna be all about timing here, truthfully. AJMR has the Curie ult. Red X has the beat to respond to it, but Kindred has the ult. It'll be Kindred ult first. Dust doesn't quite have it yet, and it's going to be only a 2-man beat. The timing and the wall placement and all of it just a bit unfortunate, but well done. Very well done from Team TDD to follow up and now get some meters flowing. I just saw Amalga fly over Amalga. Crazy stuff in the big 2-6. Faruski closing in on the ultimate. Same with NVM and Snowell, about 30% away for them. Bernice will have the beat for Dust's cage or Faruski's ult. That's in about that 15% mark. Moggy early on the draw finds NVM. The cage not coming out quite in time, but the beat, a 3-manner, I guess a 2-manner. But it'll be Dust to feel the full brute of that engage, somehow still alive, but eventually Moggy Fan cleans up. My bad, I'll put some respect on the name. Moggy Fan 67. Kindred also 67% to an ultimate of their own. HK 80. And currently missing a lot of that ult economy. The backline being investigated by Moggy Fan. HK just insta down. It'll be the ult from Faruski as NVM finds the angle in the backline, gets shut down by NVM. Things are all leveled out except for that Curie ult. It's this, Bernice shut down and DDD shut out. Any thought of finding a second map, finding a win against the big EXN is over. It is going to be Extinction taking the series 3-1. But good God, we saw some nasty stuff from both of these teams, truly. We saw some absolutely nasty plays. It's not going to quite show that one, but but insane looks there from the side of Extinction. And I got to add, don't go anywhere. We're going to try to get a bit of a we're gonna get an interview going here, hopefully. And then we have another match on our hands. Wait, it looks like that match is ongoing. Hold on a minute. They're 4 maps deep. I wish I knew what the overall score was. Let's take a little look. All right, apologies for the delay. Trying here, we're trying. It's hard to get in touch with my own team. It happens. It happens. All right. But either way, it's going to be a huge victory for Extinction, taking down DDD, going up 5-3. Unfortunately, no interview for today. But this just means we have prep time for our next game, because don't go anywhere. Project Lazarus Surge will be facing off against the squad of Rosadai. Rosadai? Actually, it's just we perfect timing. We're gonna go to a roughly 3-minute break here. I am going to use the restroom. We're gonna turn off the delay, and then we're gonna head into Lazarus Surge versus Rosadai, I would believe is how you pronounce it, and it's going to be a solid one, so you won't want to miss it. It's double header on this Win Streak Wednesday, so we'll be right back in just a minute. Congratulations again to Extinction on the win, and a fun game to cast overall. But don't go anywhere. I will see you in mere moments. Where are we? Sorry, I'm getting it sore. Okay, well, all right. I'll see you all in just a minute. Don't go anywhere.